Hungry Reader here. If you're like pretty much the rest of the world, you only know L. Frank Baum's name from The Wizard of Oz, if you know it at all. But the truth is, it wasn't even his first book. Matter of fact, Mr. Baum's very first book ever was a treatise on raising show chickens. It was a big fad at the time. But his next book after that was not The Wizard of Oz either. His next book was his first step into the world of fantasy for children. And that's what we're going to look at today, because, well, it might not have been exactly what he wanted to write, but take it from me, being paid for your own writing is da bomb!
It makes you get your freak on!
Mr. Baum's first book written for children was Mother Goose in Prose. If the title seems a bit prosaic to you, that's probably by design. Mother Goose in Prose is Mr. Baum expanding nursery rhymes, ones that most of us know, although some of them have kind of fallen into obscurity by now, and he expanded them into 2 or 3 4-page stories. There's characters that everybody knows, like Little Boy Blue, The Cat and the Fiddle, Old King Cole, The Little Man and His Little Gun, The Wondrous Wise Man, and The 3 Wise Men of Gotham. Clearly, the Mother Goose canon has evolved a lot over the last 100 years, but this book is still worth your time. Mr. Baum had not yet made his first connection with W. W. Denslow for illustrations. This book is illustrated by Maxfield Parrish. Yes, that Maxfield Parrish. In Mr. Baum's early days, it could often feel like he was being carried by his illustrator, and nowhere is that more appropriate than in this book. Just Mr. Baum's luck that he happened to get one of the greatest artists of his century to illustrate his first book. Each of the chapters begins with a recollection of the nursery rhyme, and some of them sound very different from the version we know now. Mistress Mary, quite contrary, how does your garden grow? With dingle bells and cockle shells and cowslips all in a row. Dingle bells? Cowslips? Some of these you wonder if he was trying to get a new version of the rhyme to catch on. Nowhere is this more felt than in the very last chapter, Little Bun Rabbit. Oh, little bun rabbit, so soft and so shy, say what do you see with your big brown eye? On Christmas we rabbits, says Bunny so shy, keep watch to see Santa go galloping by. Have you ever heard that Mother Goose rhyme in your life? I haven't either. I strongly suspect that Mr. Baum was making it up, that he wanted to have his own stamp on the Mother Goose canon. Well, it's not that good, Mr. Baum, but, go for it. We salute you. Let's have a look at Baum's take at one of the most beloved nursery rhyme characters of all, Humpty Dumpty. First of all, looking at Maxfield Parrish's illustration, you see that he didn't read Mr. Baum's text at all and assumed it was about Humpty Dumpty being an Elvis impersonator. In this story, Humpty Dumpty is an especially large egg who escapes the confines of his nest and goes on an adventure with another egg whose name is... Kaluchu? How the hell are you supposed to pronounce that? Anyway, Humpty and his friend, whatever her name was, go for a walk in the palace gardens, and she gets run over by a horse cart. But the princess happens to find Humpty Dumpty, and she takes him for a stroll around the palace grounds before putting him on a wall so he can see the king go by. And we all know how that goes. Now here's something weird that I've been seeing on the internet lately. Whenever Humpty Dumpty happens to come up, and he happens to come up a lot for me since I research children's literature, somebody will say, did you know that the original rhyme Humpty Dumpty never mentions that he's an egg? Where did we get this idea? I'll tell you where we get this idea, because it's a riddle. It's like the things that Bilbo and Gollum were telling each other in the caves, and the answer is an egg. Duh! And because this rhyme is a riddle, that figures into the story as well. The princess, still mourning the loss of her friend Humpty Dumpty, has to enter the royal court where suitors have come, and each one has to challenge the king with a riddle. But the princess has just made up a riddle based on her lost friend that she tells to the suitor that she likes the best. And since the king can't guess that the answer was an egg, it turns out that Humpty's sacrifice was not in vain. It may have been his first effort, but you can definitely see the potential in Mr. Baum's work even at this early stage. And you can also see it on TV.
Coochie, did you hear that?
An interesting fact about Mother Goose and Prose is that many, if not all of the stories, were brought to the screen on a TV show called Jim Henson's Mother Goose Stories.
What do you lose when you stand up?
Your lap.
I never saw any credits for Mr. Baum, not that they ever had to since it was all in the public domain, but you can definitely see how the puppets in this show look a lot more like Maxfield Parrish characters than most Muppets.
It is I, Prince Humpty Dumpty, and this is my footman.
Coochie-caloo, Prince Humpty Dumpty is going to ask a riddle the king can't answer and win the hand of the princess in marriage.
Oh, Humpty Dumpty's friend was Coochie-caloo? That makes for as much sense as anything. If you're like pretty much the rest of the world and you know L. Frank Baum. Wario.